I really like to travel, but honestly, one of the things that drives me crazy is I like my stuff. I like my skincare, my clothes, my makeup, my jewelry. I like options. I like to have all of the things just in case. If for some reason, one day I'm asked to go to the beach and the next day I'm asked to go to the ball, I like to be prepared. But when it comes to travel, if you're anything like me, this right here is putting you over the 50-pound threshold at the airport. So what if I told you that we could take 90% of this and we could put it all in here? And you could travel with ease with this and still have everything that you could want or need, from a day at the beach to a night out on the town. That's what we're gonna do today. We are gonna go product by product and show you with face application how we take this and we put it in here so that you can travel in the easiest, most convenient, mature lady friendly way with our Seint One Compact Makeup System. So if that seems like something you're interested, you need to hang out today. Let's dig in. Now, it would be simple for me to take like 5 makeup products, put it into this one little compact and say, here, this is what you can travel with. And it is totally what you can travel with, but that is not me. I am a makeup girly. I like my options. So I'm gonna take the big guy. We are gonna put together a triple decker 27 tin makeup little compact here so that you know that you will always be prepared and still slim and efficient. So when I'm talking makeup, there are some things in here that I'm gonna keep it real. Like, there are some things that I'm just gonna take because I really like them. Whether they are convenient or not, they're coming with me. A couple of examples. I'm taking my brush cleaner because I am gonna take the most minimal amount of brushes possible, and I wanna be able to do a quick clean and spritz on the go, so this is going in my makeup bag. I'm also gonna take my Plush Prep Mist. This is a pre-makeup skincare infused spray mist serum that I love. You guys can see I use it. And the smell is so good. It has hyaluronic acid, it has caffeine, so it's gonna help diminish redness while also plumping the skin. And I need that whether I'm at home or on vacation. So this is a pre-makeup spray that's coming with me. Then we have our tinted sunscreen. This one I love. I'm gonna bring the good sunscreen, the one that is skin loving for me, because if I'm traveling, the last thing I want to do is use like a spray bottle, especially if you're at the beach type of sunscreen. Then you have breakouts. Then when you get back, you have all this recovery. I'm bringing my good sunscreen. And of course, some tweezers. Like, these are going with me anywhere I go, on any trip, at any time. Let's get into some makeup and building our palette. First off, I'm going to take my eye primer of choice. This one's coming with me. This is the MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre. It's just a personal preference of mine, but I am definitely not compromising longevity on my eyes with my eye makeup, because there's nothing like being in potentially hot climates and having your eye makeup like sweating off your eyeballs. So the MAC Paint Pot is coming with me, and that is one item that is not gonna be in the palette. Now let's start breaking it down and getting some of these products into the palette. So I'm gonna start with 3 color correctors. Why do we need 3 color correctors? Maybe we don't. And again, these are just the items that I like to have. Maybe you're more of a minimalist, but I have dark under eyes, I have redness, I have all the things going on, so I like all the options. So I do like to have a product that overall is a general color corrector on days when my rosacea is rosaceaing, right? Now I like to have a yellow and a pinky peach color corrector. If I'm using traditional makeup, that's what I'm gonna need to get rid of this darkness under the eyes or some of the scarring that we have here on the face, because I am not a full coverage foundation sort of girl. I like a skin tint or a very soft foundation. So I am gonna need something to color correct. So those 3 products, those are not going to be coming with me, because I'm going to be able to replace those by starting to fill up my compact here. I also wanted to show you, we have our full gamut of brushes ready to go, not all of which we're gonna need to take with us once we start getting rid of some of these products that we're not gonna need and replacing them with our Seint Makeup here. So here I have my larger color corrector, and I'm just gonna take the small end of the shape brush. This is what I am going to use to tone down those large areas of discoloration or a little bit of this under eye darkness. Now, I also am packing 2 cream correctors, which are going to replace the other products that you saw meant for color correction. I can use those on my very light days when I just want to put a little bit of foundation, a little bit of my main highlight color on. I can go in with a small brush and just tone down some of that darkness that I have under the eye with my cream correctors. So I can replace those larger 3 products with these 3 tins right here, and I can have endless options, whether I want to do something that's a little bit more medium coverage or I want a really light finish. I could even pack a skin tint and throw some of these cream correctors in there just so I could give myself a little bit of the ability to spot treat my under eyes or my acne scarring. So there we go. We have our color correction done, and I'll show you how we could even use this with this method here in a second. Now we're gonna go ahead and replace these 2 foundations with 1 tin of makeup, but we can use different brushes to get something from a light to more of a medium finish. So right here I have my main highlight shade, and simply by packing these 2 brushes, this is the one that I did color correction with. This end right here is going to give me a light finish of makeup. This one right here is going to give me a more buildable light to all the way up to like medium, like a serious medium coverage. So I can just pack these 2 brushes and this 1 tin and replace those 2 foundation products that we just talked about. So all I'm doing now is pressing this on, a little tap tap, and we're gonna press this on. And this is gonna give you what I would consider would be the same level of coverage as a skin tint that has light to medium coverage in it. Now we have some options. We can either use our brightener, which is gonna replace a traditional concealer, our cream correctors, or both. So right now I have my brightener from Merit that I can put back, and I can simply go into one of my cream correctors and get rid of some of this hollowness that you still see under the eye right here. You just tap that along that eye bag just to lighten that up a little bit. Or we can use our brightener in these larger areas to really start to draw attention to the center of the face. I could also use the small end of the shape brush for this, but I figured since we had it out to do a little bit of this hollowness here in the eye area, we'll go ahead and just pop this right on the center of the face. And now we have brightened all of that up, and this is all we have packed so far. I'm now able to remove my concealer brush from my bag, and so far we have this brush that we have brightened the face with, and these guys that we have used for general color correction as well as for building up our foundation to different levels. And we are gonna get lots of uses out of these between blushes and bronzers and eyeshadows. These 3 brushes are really gonna do quite a bit within our makeup routine. Now let's talk eyebrows. Products that I'm gonna be taking with me: the Line Spoolie brush, by a matter of preference, the Refi Brow Tint that has some hold, and then I'm going to be using my Seint Brow Wax. That will allow me to get rid of the wax in the individual container, and because I can use either my contour or an eyeshadow with this brush to fill in the sparse areas of my brows, that will allow me to replace my NYX brow pencil. I am gonna take a microfiber cloth with me because I like to have something packed with me that I can wipe off my brushes with if I wanna clean them, if I just wanna wipe off excess product, or if I want to wipe off my brows to make sure I don't have any excess makeup on it. So I'm just gonna take my Plush Prep Mist, or if you're in a hotel room, you can simply run your spoolie underwater, and you're gonna wanna activate your brow wax. From there, you're gonna take the spoolie side of your line spoolie brush and go ahead and get those brows lifted so that we have as much lid space to work with as possible. I am then gonna go in with my Refi brow gel. Again, this is just a matter of preference. And I am gonna pack this. You could get this same effect from a contour or even a powder product, but this is just my preference. I like the way that it looks. I like the way that along with the clear brow wax, I get lamination that holds. So for me, this one's going in no matter what, but I'm able to get rid of those other products and simply use this one brush and the wax. And then if I wanted to get additional fill in, if I wanted them to be more defined, once I pack my eyeshadows or my contour, I could go ahead and go in with this small end and meet that need as well. While I'm looking through my bag, I have my clear balm. I am gonna replace it with my clear balm that goes right in my palette. So there we have the balm that is obviously well loved. This guy's gonna stay. This one's gonna go. With our contour in the palette, I am able to leave behind my little Westman Atelier mini contour stick. It's quite heavy. That's not gonna help with the weight. So we are gonna go ahead and grab, we'll just ride with the shape brush here. We are thinking that we want soft. We want soft, summery, traveling makeup where we look put together, but not like we tried too hard. If I wanted this to be more defined, I could squeeze together the denser end of the blush and bronzer brush and get more of a defined contour line. And again, contour is really just here to create more of the natural shadows, or I should say to mimic more of the natural shadows that we have on our face. Anything that is darker is gonna recede. So for somebody like me who has a larger forehead, this will allow that to look smaller. As we start to lose some of that fill that we naturally have in our face, this will allow us to create the illusion of a sharper cheekbone, to slim a jawline that is maybe starting to get some jowling or doesn't feel as snatched as it did before, and to help some of that texture, an area that we have under the chin, to recede, to pull back. We're like creating a little bit of a shelf here so that our face is the focal point and everything starts to pull back. So there we have our contour. Now I am a bronzer girl, so I'm taking more than one bronzer with me. Because I like variety, I'm gonna be taking my Bella bronzer, which is a little bit more neutral, and then my Xanadu, which is a mixture of Bella and Glow Illuminator, which is definitely gonna give me some luminosity on the face. So since I'm bringing those two, I can replace these two. This one is my more luminous golden tone like the Xanadu, and then I have my more neutral bronzer. So these guys have been replaced with this. So now we need to get that bronzer on the face. I'm gonna use the dense end of my blush and bronzer brush with my Xanadu. That'll be my choice for this video. We're just gonna add a little bit of warmth. Maybe we'll go across the nose for that more of that sunburned look. Make sure that we are matching down the neck. And now I'm gonna add a product that's not gonna fit in the palette, because I told you, I'm gonna show you how we're really gonna travel. This is the Polite Society Blurring Powder Bronzer, and I have really enjoyed it. And if I'm going on a trip, I'm gonna take this with me, and I'm simply gonna use the other end of my blush and bronzer brush, and I am bringing this for the times when I wanna set my bronzer, or I'm feeling like maybe I don't wanna glow as much. I want things to be a little bit more mattified, but man, let me tell you, the blur on this is absolutely lovely. So I can get this on the face with the same brush that I was using. So I am going to pack this along with me. And another really cool thing is that you could easily use this as part of your eyeshadow. So now that we've essentially gotten one of our 3 layers loaded up and ready to go, let me show you what we have got on this one layer versus sitting over here, what we've replaced. I mean, I'm not a rocket scientist, but holy moly, does this to me look a lot more chunky and heavy to travel with than that Seint palette, right? It doesn't mean I don't love these. These are all well-loved products and they can serve a place in your routine. But girl, when you are on the go, there is nothing like putting it right in this little palette. Now, maybe I'm a little bit extra. That would not be the first time that somebody told me that, but when it's this easy, I'm taking all of these blushes and illuminators with me so that I have all of the options from different finishes to different colors. So I've got my red, my bright orange for summer, something that's a little bit more peachy and subtle, a real beautiful pop of pink, and then something in the neutral family. And of course, now we're moving into, what if I want a golden illuminator or a pink or something to start the base of my makeup with, just to give me a little bit of glow to the skin, or maybe even one of these metallic foiled looking options. This right here is gonna replace the following 9, 10, however many products. Let me show you how. First of all, if you like the Lumi Glotion that gives you that golden glow to the skin before you do your makeup, you could easily take a product like Nova or Glow Illuminator and use that with your shape brush to prep your skin before you put any of your foundation, just to have that lit from within look. Now we have our Dior highlighter palette in our 4 different shades. Same thing. Let's just say we have our pinks, our golds, our pinks, our bronzes. Yes, this is powder. You want to pack it anyways because it's powder to set? Go for it, girl. But I'm going to ride with my creams and still be able to create the same type of finish. Now let's talk blushes. We can replace our red blush right here, our pink blush right here, our natural looking blush right here. We have that sunburned color right here. And of course, you have to have that beautiful burnt orange summer color. We can replace that right here. So these 5 blushes right here are no longer going to be going with me because I could put them all in here for $16 a piece. I can assure you, none of these were $16 a piece, but this is what the second layer of my compact is gonna look like. I'm gonna go ahead and get some blush on here, just taking the more dense end of the blush and bronzer brush. This is Pink Slip, and we are going to get this makeup routine rockin'. Pink Slip is a beautiful semi-gloss. So it has a nice amount of pigment, but also is buildable and not too glossy, but gives you that glow. I am gonna top it with one of my personal faves, which is Sunshine State. You see how we immediately add that glow in? Going right over top. And then I'm gonna take, let's go a little bit golden today. We're gonna take Honey Illuminator and put that onto the high points of the cheek. And our makeup routine is coming together so beautifully. I think I want to touch up, flip right to the other side a little bit where all of those shades come together. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to use my brightener to really make sure that all of those lines marry together. And then I'm gonna take my Perfector. This is coming with me no matter what. And let's go ahead and remove any excess and use this to marry all of those cream products together. So see how we're pulling off any excess to make sure we're not too heavy-handed. So before I get into what eyeshadows am I gonna take to give myself variety, I need to put some powder on my eyes. So I'm going to be able to replace my translucent setting powder that I can set the face and the eyes with. This guy can stay home because we are going to use our Vanilla Dust powder for the palette. And I'm gonna go ahead, since they discontinued the powder brush, and I am gonna pack this puff. I'm gonna get a little bit on here. I'm gonna be generous on the eyelids. So we color corrected our eyelids with that MAC paint pot in soft ochre, and we got that base ready to go. So that's gonna be good for oily skin, mature eyes, whatever you have going on, that's a great formulation. Really, really dry eyes, contact me. I'll give you another recommendation. But we're gonna go ahead also, while we're here, I'm gonna tap off excess. I'm gonna go ahead and set my under eye, tap, tap, Anywhere that you are prone to creasing or you generally want to increase longevity or diminish a little bit of that glow that you get from a cream makeup, go ahead and set that area. So for me, that's the T-zone, under the eyes, and these marionette lines. So I'm gonna use my Vanilla Dust setting powder and my puff for that. Then the way that I go about picking eyeshadows for traveling is really quite simple. I like to create 3 rows. I consider this my mid-tone matte transition shade, my lid shade, and then 2 colors that I can use in the outer corner to deepen a look, and 1 inner corner shade. And typically one of the shades is also the shade that would go in my brows. So I am multi-using so many of my products. And then of course you can like cross over. If you'll see, this is our warm look. This is our neutral look. This again will also, this color will lean warm. And then this is our cool look. But that should never stop you from being like, oh, I wanna use this neutral color to carve out the eye. I really like this shade for the lid. And then I wanna go a little bit opposites attract and do something cool in the outer corner. You can absolutely do that. I just like to give myself at minimum 3 looks and multi-use products. So this is going to replace whatever eyeshadow palette you would traditionally bring with you. So this guy is gonna stay along with this powder eyebrow product that we talked about before that you can use as a dual purpose eyeshadow eyebrow fill-in. Now, let's talk about the other things that go on the eyes that I personally love. I have a couple of cream eyeshadows here. I'm a big fan of cream and liquid eyeshadows, so I'm gonna pop 2 in here. Those would replace the liquid eyeshadows in the neutral colors that I really like. I can put those right in the palette. So these guys are gonna stay home in replace of these 2. Now let's talk a little bit of variety with our eyeliner. I love an aubergine color. And then of course, you're gonna find me with your standard black and a brown. So now we have 3 eyeshadows, 2 cream eyeshadows, 9 powder eyeshadows, and our powder that we're prepping with. But I'm gonna put in my brush cleaning tile so that I'm able to use minimal brushes, making this really travel friendly. And let me show you what we're able to replace due to this. So staying home, black, brown, and the eggplant aubergine that we were able to swap out with this. Let's grab our eyeshadow brushes. So I'm going to pack 2. One is this more densely packed one, which will also work really well if you wanted to use more of a small brush here to go alongside this guy right here. So if you did precision work and then you wanted to tap smaller areas around the eye, but these are gonna be my 2 eyeshadow brushes. So I'm gonna use this dense end right here to pick up a mid-tone matte, and let's go with Lullaby. We're simply going to go above, okay? Above the crease. I have a hooded eye, so if I go into the crease only, I'm not gonna be able to see it when I open my eye. So I need to get up onto the base of the hood, like so. And that's gonna be the first step. I'm gonna add some to the outer corner because we're starting to carve out the eye the same way that we would carve out the face with contour. Same effect. And that's gonna be step 1. Lullaby is clearly a very loved shade for me. Step 2, I'm going into hot chocolate. So I'm already mixing and matching. And look at that beautiful neutral lid. And it almost pulls a little bit mauvey because of the Lullaby that I have on the lid. But this has just a little bit of shimmer to it. You're not seeing any fallout. I'm using my finger, pressing it onto the lid. And that is a really pretty 2-shade eyeshadow look. So let's go back, let's blend, and let's finish it up, switching brushes to the domed end of the smudge brush, going into Philly. Ooh, we got a lot of product on there. And let's press it into the outer corner. Tap, tap. So now we're building depth and creating that upturned eye look right here. I'm gonna go back to my fluffy eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna work in circles and up above the crease. Oh, that's so pretty. Now let's go into our cream and do a little bit of tear duct here. Before I go back to that small brush and go into Drift, which is that powder. But now I'm gonna put on top of that, and you are gonna get that increased longevity because we're essentially putting a powder directly onto something that has a little bit of tack. So we get that pretty, like, lasting illumination. And I'm just carving out the eye right here. Small end under the brow. Now I can use my brush cleaning tile, so when we are ready to create a new eye look, our brushes are ready to go. Now I'm gonna grab the small end of the line spoolie brush, and let's go into our eggplant here. Make sure we have just a little bit, and we are going to create a little bit of a smoky look here on the outer corner. And there we go. That is Lyra from the Pressed Pigments. So for that look, we had Lullaby, Hot Chocolate, Philly, Lyra for the eyeliner, and then we used, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name, Tangled, you think I would know for how much I've used it, to set that inner corner and give it a little bit of tack with Drift on top and underneath the brow. From here, we are going to do a little bit of eyelash curling. This is coming with me, as are my combo, my favorite duo, my Quadra Eyelash Serum. This is a tubing mascara, growth serum in one, topped with Lash Leather tubing mascara. So let me go ahead and do that part of the eye look, and then we'll come back and round up our final products. Let's take a look at what is left in our makeup bag before we repack it with our very simple little makeup system that we have here. So this is the Makeup by Mario F4 brush. This can stay because I don't have liquid products for the face. All of my blushes and illuminators are cream, so I can use the same brush for all of those. Then we have the multitasker brush. This is a great paddle brush for lining the lips, filling in brows. Even though I don't need this today, I'm still gonna take it with me so that if I do decide that I wanna use any of my lip and cheeks as lip and cheek products, I'm able to do so, including like my contour or my bronzer as liner. So I'm gonna take this, even though I didn't need it in today's look. So what do we have left? There are just a couple things that I'm not willing to compromise taking with me, and that is at least a couple of true lip liners. Now this is the Huda Beauty one. I'm a big fan of this lip stain for lasting power. Like, this is a lip staining marker that's gonna last forever, but my all-time favorite, I feel like this just goes so well with everything, lip liner is the Makeup by Mario. This is the Ultra Suede Sculpting Pencil in Smoky Pink. Let's get her on. It's creamy, it has a very neutral undertone, and as somebody that everything pulls warm on, this does not. It stays truly in that neutral family, which I love. So these guys are gonna come with me, as is at least one of my Lawless. Forget the filler, we could put that on today. If you told me I could only wear one lip gloss for the rest of my life, it would be one brand, it would be the Lawless. You guys, these are so good. They're saying that they smooth and plump and all the things. I'm not sure if they plump, but they smooth, and that is my preference. As somebody with very textured lips, I've kind of come to terms with they're kind of itty bitty. Now, don't get me wrong, I love me a good plumping product, but if you made me pick this, forget the filler, like, it does the trick. Like, look at that. They smell amazing. They are thick, and I like that because they last, but they're not sticky. I was playing around with, do you guys remember the Lancome Juicy Tubes, like of our younger year? Well, they are back, and I bought one and I was playing around, and it had that nostalgic scent, but like it stuck to everything. Like I took a drink of my coffee and it was like, oh my God, my lips are stuck. This is not sticky. It's thick, it's juicy. There's a reason why these are so highly rated. Again, at least one of these are coming with me. Which shade is this? This is Juicy Watermelon. Girl, love her. I'm also bringing a lip tint to go with that lip pencil or simply to wear on its own. This is Jam. So I have something in the neutral darker. This is my favorite of all the lip tints. And this can go on the cheeks if I so feel that way. I'm bringing at least one Seint lip oil. This is the birthday cake. It's almost gone. I'll have to open a new one, but this is my favorite. And any number of SPF lip products. I chose the e.l.f. because for like $7, it says it's a Sun Boss Gloss, and it is. This is bossy. I really like it. It's opaque. It gives you color. It smells good. It's not funky. It's not my favorite, but guess what? For $7, I would purchase more. And then our finishing spray, or our setting spray, I should say. I'm currently having a love affair with the Dibs. It smells like My Little Pony. If you guys are new, if you're not new to my channel, you know you've heard me talk about this. When I first smelled it, I was like, what is that nostalgia? I was like, that's My Little Pony. And then I was like, that's gross. And now I'm like addicted to it. I don't know if it's because it works so well. It blurs without mattifying. I can't go crusty dusty on the face. It's so good. But the scent not only does not bother me anymore, I actually enjoy it. So maybe between the Lancome Juicy Tubes and the Dibs, I can flash back like 20 years. Okay, that is it, you guys. Look at this. And this is just light and natural. But with everything that I showed you, we can have all the looks. So let me repack my bag. One final visual of what we look like now that we have simplified our system, but not compromised our number of products. So this is it. And this is still me being a little bit extra. These are my extra products. You'll see the difference in actual volume. We have all of this space here. This is me simplifying my brushes. And then lastly, we are adding in our 27 to 35-ish products right here and a microfiber cloth. And this, you guys, is everything that you could ever possibly want in a travel makeup system made easy without making any compromises. And I can customize your shade match if you think that would be valuable to make sure you have the right color corrector, you have the right main highlight. I can help you pick out some fun eyeshadow looks. Whatever it is that you need, that is all found in the description box below. So if you guys found today's video helpful, if you could do me a favor and give it a big thumbs up, that really helps out our channel. And if you feel inclined to hang out with us all the time, be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. We do share new videos here every week, and I would love to have you as part of our makeup beauty fam. So that's it, you guys. That is this week's video. The easiest travel system that you are ever gonna find that allows you to be completely extra or completely minimalist, whatever you prefer, all in one simple little palette. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and we'll see you next week.